What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a BBIG update. Okay, so before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it so we can get this information out to as many people out there as possible who want to learn about the trade. With that said, let's begin. Okay, you guys, so there has been really not much happening with BBIG as far as price action is concerned. I understand that we're waiting for the good news catalyst to really officially send this thing to the moon, but there are a couple things that I would like to touch on with you guys. We're going to try to make this video fast so that we can get our rest for tomorrow's session. Okay, so we're looking at the daily chart right here, and we're still riding this ascending channel that we've been talking about. And as you can see here, this implied line here that we drew earlier is still following what we were talking about. It has reached the 1.618 where we were wanting to for this to go, and this now makes it a desirable area for us to trade up to. A good thing here is that during this downtrend here, especially after this downtrend, we are now in the process of potentially seeing a reversal. So first of all, this could be considered a hammer candle, right? But also this one here, this is an inverted hammer at the at the bottom of a downtrend, which is very good. Now we have closed above the 0.236, which is a very good thing. This can be used as a form of support. I mean, we can always wick down back into the primary support of the channel, which is around 91 cents. We've been talking about this 91 cent area for quite a while now, but we can always test down to the 91 and use this SMA 10 as a potential resistance level to test our 0.2 or not 236, so that we can just blow by it and test our inverse golden ratio here at the 0.618 at about 90, let's see, 93 cents, and then using our SMA 10 as a new form of support before a continuation to the upside, in which I believe that we can, I mean, with some pretty good impulsive moves here, or with a good sentiment, psychology behind the trade is what I'm trying to talk about. With good psychology, we can actually see a pump all the way up to our 100-day simple moving average and our golden ratio, 1.618 at $1.11, and this could very likely play as a form of resistance in order for us to now trade within the golden pocket, which is in between the 1.72 and the 1.618. Some people consider the golden pocket or the golden zone to be in between the 786 fib ratio and the 1.618, but I don't use the 786. I feel like the 1.272 and the 1.618 makes me more of a cautious trader, not having too many lines in between, right? So that's it for this chart. Let's go ahead and move on. This is the one I was wanting to talk about. So really quick before we get into the statistical measures of this is that we've intended to fail this this triangle here a couple times, but we have regained a triangle and we are approaching the apex of this triangle here. Now usually we tend to realize these triangles when we're about 75% complete, and we are definitely beyond 75% complete of this triangle here. So as we approach the apex, we are likely to start to see a move, the move that we were looking for. Now let's go ahead and talk about that, because there is something very important here that BBIG has achieved. Now since the beginning of BBIG trading, which could be in about that was about May 2018, we have never accumulated so much volatility like these red bars and these blue bars. They all represent, since we're on the daily chart, each bar represents one day of accumulation and volatility. This has been the largest iteration, marking 8 days of accumulation in volatility in the history of BBIG trading. We have broken that today. Today we are now at the ninth day of volatility buildup, and please notice that let me make this big so we can see real clearly what I'm talking about. In this last iteration, we can see that the moving average, which is this pink line or orange line, whatever it is, it was already pivoting towards the upside by the 8th day. Now, notice in our current iteration, we are zeroed on the 9th day. So this is the 9th day right now, and we have the volatility represent. This is volatility, and this is the moving average of the volatility. They are both zeroed out. They are at this is as low, this is as contracted as we can ever be for this. So for those of you who don't know what this is, we are looking at volatility represented by this indicator BBWP, and there's a couple things within the BBWP that we should know. It is direction neutral. So only because we've printed red bars here and it starts to contract to the downside does not mean that price action goes down. And inversely, just because we have contracted all the way 100% doesn't mean that as we start an expansion phase does not mean that price action has to go up. BBWP is direction neutral because volatility is. So we pair this with a momentum oscillator, which is like this one down here. And we are suggesting a continuation to the downside, and seeing that there is no upside indication within the volatility realm of things, I am seeing that we could potentially use this trend as a form of support before starting to make our ascension. So there is a lot of broader market activity stifling BBIG from actually realizing what it's trying to do. And again, right here, you guys, this is the daily chart, and you can see that we talked about this inverted hammer. The inverted hammer happened, and it happened to also reclaim our triangle. The implied target for the triangle is $1.24, which is confluent with these highs, which were on September 12th, sorry, and it's also confluent with several areas of support and resistance. It's a very desirable area. All this, yeah. So let's go ahead and move on so that we can go ahead and finish up the day here. This is a little tough one to read. 30-minute RSI. Is giving us a direction of just neutral action. The only reason that we can believe that we were going to go to the upside is only for the fact that we are in this very shallow area of the bear weakness percentile. Again, for you viewers that always watch me, I'm sorry about this, but this is for the new viewers, right? We have a regular RSI set up here. I have split it into two sections. Top section being the bullish control zone, bottom section being the bearish control zone. Now, both zones are split into two. This bottom half being the bear strength percentile, the upper half being the bear weakness percentile. Now, on the top, inversely, we have the bull weakness percentile followed by the bull strength percentile. So whenever you hear me talk about those references, now you know what I'm talking about. So the only reason that we can assume that we would have some upside within the 30-minute time frame is the fact that we are in the shallow areas of the bear weakness percentile, which means that we could easily be gravitated to the bullish control zone. We are trading below the moving average, which is not really good. Let's look at the 15-minute. The 15-minute time frame is at a very critical zone here. It's very close to the bear strength percentile. Our moving average is suggesting some downside, but our RSI is starting to pivot towards the upside. Let's go up to higher term time frames. This is the bi-hourly, and it is with a downside pivot. We are still above the moving average, which is bullish. We can always use the moving average as a form of bounce here. But this is looking like it's trying to suggest some more sideways action. Our 6 hour is also suggesting a similar thing. This is very reminiscent over what's been happening with the price action of BBIG over the last few weeks. Our higher term, let's see, this is the daily. It has somewhat of a upside pivot. But if you can see here, guys, take a look how we have not moved outside of both weakness percentiles. So we're when we're trading in this area, we're more prone to being, you know, brought back into here and likewise from here to here. So this is literally what it's been doing, and I think this represents a lot of the social sentiment in respects to the good news catalyst that we're waiting for. I believe it's the merger. So if we have that merger announcement, say for example tomorrow, this thing would probably realize the BBWP that we're looking at. This right over here, this would probably immediately bounce from this bottom side, face to the upside, and have this just catapult to the upside. There is a criteria that we have to meet real quick, you guys, before we end this video. In order for us to start validating and using our metrics here, which is out of total 25 iterations, 16 were correct. We have an average upside accuracy of about 64% chances to the upside. The upside thrust is 62.14% over the span of about 15.18 days. So this metric can start being applied by meeting this criteria here. So we actually need both the moving average and the signal spectrum line to be above the 15th percentile, which could be considered as the critical zone. If we have moved above this, both pivoted towards the upside alongside momentum with an upside pivot, we can then start to look for this 62.14% impulsive upside thrust, which can lead us into some pretty desirable areas. Just before we close this up, we can actually just gain an idea. So let's just say we broke out on Halloween, right? October 31st, and we measure our 62.14%. 62.14 puts us at about $1.58, which then would create some new higher highs, and we would now start the break of market structure, the bearish structure, to be perfectly clear here. Guys, I am not a financial advisor. I cannot actually suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. Please take whatever I do show in these videos or in my threads as a form of entertainment. Do your own DD. We can discuss these analyses that I present on Discord or on Twitter or here on YouTube. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me whenever, you guys. But that's going to do it for the video tonight. Get some rest for tomorrow's session, and I'll catch you at the bell. Adios.